but just be focused on yourself, because the answer to that question is, I need to know what's going on with you.
So we all are getting to that age where we have aging parents, and the fact that I've taken care of my parents for 5 to 8 years. What do you feel before you get to that, I have to take my parents in because it's an emergency? What do you think is best to prepare families for what's to come? What kind of conversations do we need to have before you realize you're the only one who's willing to do this?
Yeah. So in our family, but when I started this, when I came into the polka dots, I was actually in the financial field. And it taught me very quickly how many people were not prepared for financial crisis. Then I became an in-home medical agency and realized that people are really ill prepared. Have the hard conversations now at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old now, for your powers of attorney, for healthcare as well as financial. Get on the same page and be the instigator. The family I talked about now, or that I'm currently serving, no one wants to deal with it. They all know that all of this is happening, and nobody wants to pull the trigger. I've even called Adult Protective Services on this family. And they may or may not do something with this. I don't exactly know. But just be focused on yourself, because the answer to that question is, I need to know what's going on with you. I did that for my mom. And she's like, what do you want from me? All my money? I'm like, well, that's not going to go well. And it never really did. But thankfully, she was willing to talk to my sister, but she didn't tell me that she was talking to my sister. So all of that family dynamic that's icky will come back to you later and bite you in the butt. So try to be as truthful as you can with all of your siblings and get it on the same page if you can. And if you were in a crisis where you took your family in, we thank you for doing that. Unfortunately, her family, as many, don't realize the sacrifice it takes to take care of a loved one with a serious illness. It's a sacrifice. Anybody else?
You were talking about the body scans, and they seemed to be in certain areas where the light was. So did that mean disease developed in those certain areas?
Let me go back to that slide.
Was it like the red spots was it blue or for the one there?
Okay. So the way the sixes is explained is, the above diagram is a representation of how 700 study participants mapped where they feel emotions physically in their bodies. The diagram does not represent heat or body fluid. The color red represents the total presence of an emotion in that body part, where the color blue represents the absence or feeling of emotion. So anger is often, if you look at the coloring, you can see brightness, and like gentle brightness versus harsh brightness. Do you see the difference? So sadness, it looks like there's quite a bit of blue in there. And neutral, you can actually, that's what a lot of meditation is about, is letting your mind just be completely neutral on all emotion. So I'm not saying that just because you have a ton of envy in your body that you're going to get ill. It's just suggested that Dr. McCullough has done body scans, and we can highlight emotion in those body parts. So looking at happiness, look how bright and gentle that is compared to depression and how dark and morose it kind of looks. Okay, so love, super bright, gentle to see. Anger looks kind of harsh. So these are over like 700 participants. On another brain scan person, his name is Dr. Amen, A-M-E-N. He's got 10,000 brain scans of different people, and people that have killed people, people that with depression, people with Alzheimer's, things like that. And there's different variations of the brain. It just changes when people are like that. So there is healing in the brain, and Nadine can help you with that. If you struggle or know someone with some kind of brain injury, she can actually help with that. So